And now it looks like a spaghetti mess. But I'm still not finished with securing everything. I just have all the wires ran now. I still have a little bit of labeling to do on some wiring. And in the process, I learned that this has a CAN bus, which I had no idea what a CAN bus was, but I could not get my sensors to show up on the screen. So I called Pacific Coast Avionics, talked to their lead technician down there, Frank, and he explained it to me. And anyway, I found out the reason mine wouldn't work is I had cut the wire going to the GMU-11. It's out in the wing, and they ran the wire continuously from the panel to the wingtip, which can't be because the wings have to come off the airplane. So I cut that wire. Well, in that process, now the CAN bus can't read that little box, and because it can't read that little box, it can't go any further. The way a CAN bus works, it's kind of like a subway track system. It goes to each box individually, comes back, and if it can't make that connection, then it's not going to be able to talk to the G3X and give the information. So you've got to have all your boxes hooked up properly, and once they're all hooked up properly, then it can basically route all those connections. And it's just one twisted pair of wires that's basically shielded. So it's pretty interesting that all that information can be transferred through a pair of twisted wires. So here's where I'm at. I moved my intercom. Originally, I think I had my intercom over here. I moved it over here. It's now with the ignition switch. So I've got my intercom, ignition switch. I have my switches and breakers all in one panel. I've got my ELT emergency switch there. I've got 12 volt power and USB power over there. I have one headset jack for basically the co-pilot up there. The other jacks are going to be in the wing root. I will have a fuel transducer mounted off of the fuel valve here, which isn't back from Electronics International yet. They're going to swap me out. According to them, they're going to swap it for the FT60. I never mounted it, so it'll be back. And then I've got my alternator regulator, my master solenoid, starter solenoid. I drilled this was the template that I used for making my firewall. I drilled it where I'm going to have my associated wires and cables come through. I'm going to mount the battery to the firewall inside here. As I showed in that other video, this tray drops down with a couple turns. So once I get, I'm going to go through and basically kind of get all these wires just kind of looking a little bit neater and cleaner. That's my update. I'm not sure if I ever showed anybody. I built this little unit. I bought the unit. It's basically a flat bar bender, or you could bend square tubing with it. And I modified the wheel. So I made my own wheel, and that wheel will accept the Piper channel. And so you can run that Piper channel through. You can run it through in any length you need to, but I built this so that I could make my gingerbread for the last Super Cub that I built, or actually for repairing the Super Cub. And so you just run it through, and when you bring it back out, you can adjust the handle here for whatever arc you want. But as you can see, it will make a nice arc and it doesn't kink it. And so if you're trying to make these pieces right here, you can basically match that arc and have a nice clean line when you're all done. Anyway, I'm kind of proud of that. I think this unit here cost me, I want to say $500. And I think I bought it through Summit Racing, but I can't remember. And then obviously you got to have the ability to make a wheel. I can take this wheel out and put the old wheel back in if I want to, and do flat bar or square tubing and adjust these rollers. But I loaned it out recently to a friend, and he's building a Super Cub fuselage from scratch, and he used it and did all his gingerbread.